Hey, this is Alicia,
This is Melissa.
and this is Dark.
Dark.
I have a funny story for you.
Okay.
So I've been having a lot of back issues since.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, so you understand. You of all people can definitely relate to this, but been having back issues for a while now. I guess you could say it actually started after I had Greta. You know that perpetual itch I have in my back that never goes away.
Mm-hmm.
I got tired of it finally, and it's gotten to the point to where it makes my shoulder want to move by itself. It's so weird. Like, I don't know how else to explain it,
Kind of
but
like it jerks.
yeah, exactly. Like it feels the need to move. It's almost like restless leg syndrome, but in my shoulder blade.
Ugh.
I called the chiropractor on Wednesday and said, "Look, I really need to make an appointment because I want to figure this out. Like, my doctor has no clue. She referred me to a chiropractor." And he's like, "Yeah, we can definitely take you." And he's like, "Would you like to come in tomorrow at 4:45?" And I was like, "Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect for me." I leave work and I go to the chiropractor's office. And the lady working at the front desk, she's like, we don't have you written down here." I was like, "Well, I talked to a guy yesterday," and she's like, "Was it when we were closing?" I said, "I think so." She goes, "Well, it was probably him, and he just didn't write it down." And I was like, "Okay." So we go through the chiropractor appointment and everything, and they don't really do anything except for, take x-rays because I have to go back next week for the actual assessment.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm leaving the chiropractor's office, and I get a phone call. And I answer it and I'm like, "Hello?" And they're like, "Hi, this is so and so from so and so's chiropractic clinic. You had an appointment at 4:45?"
You went to the wrong place, didn't you?
I went to the wrong freaking chiropractor.
Dear Lordy.
But they were so accommodating. They were like, "Oh, well, we don't have you here, but we'll take you." And I was like, "Thank you so much." Like, I and they were apologizing and they
Well, shit.
so yeah, then I apologized to that chiropractor because I was like, "Oops,
My
my
bad.
bad."
Damn it, E.
So yeah, yeah. I blame it on a weird week. It's been a weird week.
Yes.
I mean, you know past me. You know past me when everything's just going on at once. Like, I would normally shut down, right?
Yes.
I would normally just be like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
Ow, ow.
Yeah, that's me. And but the past couple of years, I've gotten a lot better at facing anything that's kind of thrown at me. Um, let's see. So just to kind of give you guys an idea, this week alone, we are selling the house. Travis started school back. I start school back on the first. We have to hire a landscaper, a painter, somebody to fix the ceiling in our bathroom. We have to get a realtor, find an apartment. We have to oh yeah, and then of course, my middle child, Rachel, she's about to have her baby in a week. So
Is it really a week?
yeah.
Oh, shit. I thought it
So
was later than that.
no, it's coming up pretty close. And so we've got all this stuff going on at one time. And I have yet to break down.
Good
So
job.
I say that is a win in my book.
That is a win. I
Yeah.
spent well, not just me, Aubrey, and Josh spent all weekend cleaning my house.
Mm,
Like, it still needs to be cleaned some, but we spent all weekend cleaning my house.
yeah.
We're all tired. Aubrey's
I
poor
don't
back is jacked.
I don't even want to look at our house right now. So I'm hiding in the bedroom.
I
Ah,
wish
yeah.
you could say I could do that, but that's just as messy.
Yeah. I don't know how I've acquired so many clothes. Like, that's the thing that bothers me the most.
Because
But
you like clothes.
I do like clothes, but this is ridiculous. I'm about to Marie Kondo this bitch. I think that's her name. I don't know. I never really watched the show.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm gonna. We've basically said we're not taking everything with us, so that's gonna be fun in itself. Anyway, so do you have a story for me?
I do. And it's not the one that Dom picked
Okay.
because I need to get deeper into that story
No, I get it.
than
I do.
just one day will let me.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back to what I told you I was doing.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Oh
So
god,
I'm
I'm in
doing
for a
Robert
ride.
the doll.
Yay. My favorite.
I'm, I'm doing Robert, which I've gone to see. I said hello to him, told him I was not going to be taking any pictures of him because the lady said he wasn't in a very good mood that day.
Yeah.
So I just took pictures of what was across from him, which was like an early 1900s hearse.
Mm.
And it was very creepy because when she turned the corner where Robert is, they have these like music box music playing. And
Yeah.
there's this 3 foot tall doll just chilling with his little stuffy in a glass case.
I'm sorry. Music box music scares the living daylights out of me.
Dude, it was creepy. It was so creepy. And even my mom who went with me, Dominic and my dad were like, nah,
No.
we don't want to see this. And I was like, no, this would be the only time I'm ever going to be able to see him.
Yeah.
So me and my mom went, and even my mom was walking with her arms behind her back and was like, hello, Robert, how are you doing today? I'm just going to go right past you. So my mom even said hello to him, and my mom's not really a believer. I really wouldn't call her a skeptic either, but she's not really a believer. So
Yeah.
yeah, so even my mom was like, "Hello, Robert, how are you doing? I'm just gonna walk right past you." And I just had to
Smart
laugh at
woman.
her. I just
Smart
had to laugh
woman.
at her. And I
Yeah.
even, "Hello, Robert, how are you doing today? I'm not gonna take any of your pictures. I'm just gonna turn this way. Please don't
Yeah.
do anything crazy behind me." And
Right.
then I think I actually upset him because I missed I 200 of my dollars went missing. Just out of my wallet. All my credit cards were still there, but I lost $200 while I was in Key West.
Yeah, that sounds like something he would do.
So, nothing
Mm.
else crazy has happened, just that. So,
Gotcha.
so Robert the doll. Uh in the early 1900s, a boy named Robert Eugene Otto was given a handmade doll by one of his servants that worked for his parents. Gene, who changed his name, started going by Eugene or Gene, and named the doll after himself,
Yeah.
and soon formed a very deep connection with him. Like he would take him everywhere with him. He like into not, and this isn't just like, you know, a 4-year-old taking their favorite doll somewhere. He did this into like adulthood
Yeah. Yeah.
and would still talk to it and still
Mm-mm.
make sure its clothes were straightened and that kind of thing. Um, the first sign of trouble came when Jean was about 10 years old and woke up to find Robert sitting at the end of his bed staring at him. Later that night, his mother was awakened by screams from Jean's room and the sound of furniture being moved and flipped over.
No.
When
No,
his
thank you.
mother finally got into his locked room, because his room somehow became locked, Jean was curled up in fear on his bed and said Robert did it. The doll was still sitting firmly at the end of his bed.
Mm.
Mm-mm,
No.
no.
No. No, thank you.
Mm-mm, uh-uh. Jean's parents would often hear him talking to Robert and getting a response from a different voice. So he would just be in the middle of it, like what normal kids do. They conversate with their dolls, but his parents would actually hear a completely different voice, and it wasn't coming from Jean. It was coming from Robert.
No, thank you.
They
I'm
would see
okay
his
with that.
expression change on the doll's face and actually witness his mouth move and talk.
Yeesh. No.
Uh,
No.
just this whole story is just a no. It's a short story. It's a quick one, but this whole story is just a no, no.
Yeah.
Uh, when Jean grew up, he moved to Paris and met Anne, and they got married. And his wife Anne always felt very uneasy around the doll to the point she asked Jean to lock him in the attic so he could do no more harm.
Yeah, that's no offense, Robert. No offense taken. Please, please do not come and haunt me in my dreams.
Please.
Please know that you are an amazing doll, and I would never say anything bad about you. But maybe the attic was a good place for you to stay for a while. I'm just saying. Just
Well,
saying.
well, Robert wasn't too happy with this,
Yeah, yeah, probably
and
not.
people could hear like footsteps in the attic, someone pacing back and forth, and even devilish giggles
Eh,
coming
no,
from the locked attic. Children
no.
passing, like going to school, would say that they saw Robert the doll mocking them from the attic window. And I'm not quite sure how he would mock them. Like, ha ha, I'm not going to school. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Robert, don't come at
probably.
me, please.
No, I
Oh,
mean,
Robert, please don't come at me.
yeah.
Um, Gene, knowing that there was no way that this could be possible, because again, he was locked in the attic away from the window, he would go up to check on him and he would be sitting in a rocking chair by the window where he was not originally put.
I just wonder what would happen if you put Robert the doll and Annabelle in the same room together.
They would have evil babies.
That's true.
Side note, we just watched The Conjuring 3 last night,
Mm-hmm.
and there's one part that made me laugh so hard when Ed and Lorraine were trying to convince the lawyer that this was all due to possession,
Yeah.
and they were like, come to our house, we'll even let you meet Annabelle.
Oh yeah. You're muted or something happened. I can't hear you.
Can you now?
Yeah, yeah, there we go.
Apparently my phone can't cut off.
Uh, sorry.
So where what was the last thing you heard?
The last thing I heard was they invited him over to meet Annabelle.
Okay, so they invited him over to meet Annabelle. And then it cuts to the next scene and they're in the court and she has like her hands on the table.
Oh
Completely
yeah.
looks like she has been through some shit.
She's seen some things and some stuff.
And me and Aubrey just laughed because we're like,
Yeah.
ooh, ooh, what did Annabelle show you?
Yeah.
Mm-mm,
Well, I mean, I
mm-mm.
told you that like my whole thing with that story is the fact that I really want to cover the actual trial. I'll let you do the paranormal side of that, but I really want to cover the trial because it is one of the first. I found out a while back though that it was actually not the first case of using the paranormal as a defense.
No,
There was
it's
actually
not.
another case.
There's two.
But yeah, yeah. So, but I'm really excited to cover that. But anyway, continue. Sorry, tangent.
Each time Gene would take him away from the window, and each time he would go and check, he would always end up back in that same spot in the rocking chair by the window,
Yeah,
mocking the children.
yeah.
So Gene Otto finally passed away in 1974, and he didn't really have like what to do
Mhm.
with Robert, so they just left him in the attic until new owners moved in, and the house is at 534 Eaton Street in Key West, Florida. It's called the Artist House
All right.
because Gene was an artist, and they called him eccentric.
Yeah, that's key for he was a little quirky, a little odd.
Well, he carried around a doll until he was old.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
not me. Sorry. I can't do dolls. I can't.
And
Like,
it said that Robert's actually more haunted than Annabelle.
well, I mean, you know what? I can believe that, and I can tell you why. Um, Annabelle has kind of like basically been in that glass case for like ever,
The church
and
glass case, mind you.
yeah, exactly. And she Annabelle kind of like hangs out in that spot. Robert doesn't really have that. He's kind of out in the open, and he's been moved around a lot too. Like he goes to, I mean, he was, anyway, I'll let you share that part because I'm sure you'll take care of that part. But
Yes,
he moves
yes.
around. He moves around a lot. Like people, he goes to shows and stuff. So yeah,
Well,
I
so
can
does
see that.
Annabelle. They have an evening
Yeah,
with Annabelle every October where you can actually go have dinner with Annabelle and a couple of other cursed objects, but Annabelle's like their main ticket sale.
no, thank you.
Yeah, and they've been doing this even when Lorraine was alive. They would still do this evening with Annabelle thing, and they
I
would
can't
sell
believe
tickets
she
so you
allowed
can go
that.
have dinner with Annabelle.
I can't believe she allowed that. Like I thought she was always.
She did.
Ugh. Okay.
And they made now I'm talking about Annabelle. They made Annabelle's case movable. So she's
Um.
still like behind the church glass
Mhm.
and she's still in her same room,
Okay.
but they can move it now. They made it
Gotcha.
mobile.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So they don't take her out
Uh huh.
and move her into something else because you can't touch her with your hands. You have to wear gloves that are blessed by a priest and have
Mhm.
holy water on them.
Gotcha. Okay. All this makes sense then.
Yeah.
I feel a little
Annabelle's on the
safer.
list.
Gotcha.
Annabelle is on the list.
Yay.
The 10-year-old who moved in was delighted to find Robert in the attic, but that delight turned very quickly with the claims that Robert was alive and he wanted to hurt her.
Uh. Okay.
Uh, so after the little girl moved in, they donated Robert to a museum. It's called the East Monticello Museum, and that's where he's been ever since.
Gotcha.
A lot of people think that the evil that lies with him lies with who gave it to him. This woman who was mistreated by Jean's parents cursed the doll with voodoo and black magic,
Okay.
is what they think.
Okay.
So Robert now sits, like I said, in a glass box at the East Monticello Museum, but it can't stop him. Many have taken pictures or seen Robert and have had horrible times. Money has gone missing, i.e., me. Marriages have ended, car wrecks, losing jobs, and people have actually died and had their pets die.
Okay.
The walls around Robert are littered with letters from around the world asking Robert for his forgiveness.
I can see that.
He has been seen, he's even been seen with his hands pressed up on the glass.
Okay, that's
And then he
creepy.
moves back to his seat.
I can just imagine like you just turn a corner and then like he's just sitting there like pressed up against the glass.
No,
No, thank you.
no. Well, that's like, I was, okay. So, getting to the next part anyway. I was watching Ghost Adventures Deadly Possessions,
Yes.
which is he was on. And I
Mhm.
made the comment, like, in that, he was smiling. When I
Yeah.
saw him, he wasn't smiling.
All the pictures that I've ever seen of him, it goes either way. Like it looks like he's smiling, and then some of them looks like he's not.
Yeah, no, he was not smiling when I saw him. But he was
Gotcha.
definitely smiling when he went to Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
And that freaked me out.
I bet he was happy because he probably was like, "Yay, I'm out of that little spot you keep me in, and I'm going on an adventure." Or like, but that was his thought process.
Maybe.
If I were him, that's what I would be thinking. I'd be like,
Um,
"Yay, a trip."
it's also said that he is the original Chucky.
Oh, I can
That
see
Child's
that.
Play is inspired by Robert.
Oh, I could totally see that. That would definitely be a inspiration there.
So on Ghost Adventures Deadly Possessions, Theo, his little butler, Zach's
Mhm.
little butler, Theodore, came in and shook Zach's hand, gave something to Zach. Saw Robert's handler, shook her hand, turned around, saw Robert, screamed, and ran out of the room.
Yeah, I remember.
And then immediately started coughing and choking.
No, yeah.
To where Zach went out there and said, Theo, I need you to come back in here and apologize to Robert. Don't apologize
Yeah.
to his handler. I need you to apologize to the doll.
Yep.
And of course, Theo came in. Robert, I am so sorry. I just wasn't expecting you sitting here. All of that.
Right. Yeah.
One of the women that was affected by Robert came in. Her name was Bonnie. Took the blunt of a derogatory saying that someone behind her said to Robert.
Mhm.
Like she was being nice, asked permission, all this stuff. The guy behind her said something, and it was they bleeped it out, so I don't know what was said.
Yeah.
And she took the blunt of it.
Well, yeah, because like he probably thought it was her and was like, "Yeah, you
Well, that and she also didn't ask permission to take his picture.
well, that was bad. She should
That
have
was
asked for
dumb.
permission."
That was dumb of her.
Yeah, just a little.
Um, and then Zach took her in there so she could apologize to Robert. Started crying. She said, she just wanted her life back. I'm sorry that I did this. It wasn't me that said that, but I did, not I did take your picture without permission.
Right.
So I apologize for that.
Makes sense.
Yes. And that's Robert Vidal.
Yeah, I just
Robert's is Robert's a short and sweet one.
yeah, I mean, because there's been countless. I mean, I know for a fact that I've seen. Oh, let me
Oh,
check. Hold
can you
on.
still hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. There was something I wanted to do. I just have to find it. I have to pull it up.
in season 1 of Lore, there was an episode about Robert the doll that was really well done. Um, I love Lore as a podcast in itself,
Oh
but
yes, it's
but
amazing.
yeah, the episode of Robert the doll was really good. It was really well done. I think they pretty much covered a lot of the bases there, and of course, there's several other
Well,
podcasts that
I
have
also
covered it
wanted
as
to read some
well.
of the I'm sorry letters.
Oh yes, please do.
So this one is from a little girl named Brianna. It says, "I am so sorry. My poppy did not ask to if he could take 15 pictures of you. P.S. Thank you for letting my mom take beautiful pictures of you."
Aw.
Hey, Robert, hope you're doing well. Just wanted to apologize if we upset you on Friday night. If so, we are really, really sorry. We have had the worst bout of luck since we've met you. On Saturday, our flights got delayed and they lost our luggage. The airline has no idea where it is. I'm not sure if I came off insincere when I saw you, but I thought you were the coolest doll ever and told everybody so. Hope you're staying cool in the summer heat. Please forgive us.
That was sweet.
I visited you over a month ago and I never asked if I could take your picture. And let me tell you, you've definitely made me regret that. The day after I returned home from Florida, a little less than a week after I visited you, I got my first speeding ticket. We ended up taking a month to pay because they supposedly lost the ticket. And then I've been having problem after problem with my car. It's gotten to the point where it's not really even logical to keep fixing it. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that I am sincerely sorry for not asking before I took your picture. That was very rude of me, and you definitely have made me learn my lesson. I hope to visit you again soon, and trust me, I will for sure ask about taking your picture. P.S. I am so sorry.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that like a lot of people face, though. I mean, and it gets a lot worse
And
with
there's
some people.
hundreds of these, hundreds of thousands of these. Like they get emailed. Hey Robert, hope you're doing well. Just wanted to apologize if we upset you Friday night. We're really, really sorry. We have had the worst bout of luck ever since. On Saturday, our flights got delayed and then they lost our luggage. The airline still doesn't know where it is. I'm not sure if I came off insincere when I saw you, but I thought you were the coolest doll ever.
Hmm. Yeah.
And they also came out with that Robert has a sweet tooth.
Oh, okay. So we
So
share our
people
love
are
for
also
chocolate.
sending candy
Ooh.
and joints.
What? Are you
Yeah,
serious?
yes, I am dead serious. People have been sending blunts and joints and marijuana,
That's
leaving it for Robert
hilarious.
down there.
That's hilarious. I love
I
that.
don't know where that started,
I don't
but
either, but that's great.
so
That's
yeah.
great.
So that's Robert the doll.
I love it. That's like I think that's what I wanna come back as, a haunted doll, just everybody can just send me edibles.
Marijuana.
Everybody just send me edibles whenever I'm in the afterlife.
Yeah, just they leave like apparently he like suckers, like he has a sweet tooth. So they'll leave
Mm,
suckers and all sorts of little candies and stuff around his case. And
yeah.
they've even found joints.
Lemon lime suckers from the bank or the doctor's office are, like, my favorite.
Oh my god.
So if anybody wants to send me, like, a whole big old bag of lemon lime suckers, I would be eternally grateful.
Oh dear lord.
Yeah, that's a good story. I love Robert the doll. Like, honestly, I do. I think he's a
He
very
was very
cool.
cool. It was very cool to see him.
Yeah.
It was very creepy because of the music.
Yeah, that's something I will never get over.
Um I I tried to talk my son into going to see him. Dom was having none of it. Dom would go, "Oh heck no."
And by the way, everybody, I do apologize if you can hear grass cutting in the background. I was trying to record around our neighbors doing all this, but of course,
Oh, I can't
can't
hear it.
actually control your neighbors, so
And then I almost thought about taking a picture of in the gift shop you can buy your own Robert the doll. Please do not send us a Robert the doll.
no, please do
Um,
not. No,
please do
I'm
not.
okay.
And they have little voodoo dolls on keychains of Robert and like little Robert doll keychains and t-shirts that say I survived Robert the doll. And I almost bought one just to freak my son out because that's what kind of parent I am.
I love it.
And thought twice of it because that would be disrespectful to Robert.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I
So
don't like any of that kind of memorabilia stuff. I think it cheapens. Also, I think it kind of cheapens the experience too. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense?
yes, I did take pictures of the voodoo dolls though.
Oh,
They were
okay.
just little string voodoo dolls.
That's cool. I like that.
Um, but oddly enough, all those pictures got erased.
Not surprised
I
by
could
any
not
means.
I could not find that picture of the little voodoo doll to save my life.
Gotcha.
And last night I was watching YouTube getting ready, like stories about Robert the doll and stuff, and I had to pause it because I was writing something down and I paused it right on Robert. And Dom's like, "Mom, stop it. You're freaking me out with this. Just hit play for a couple more seconds and get Robert off the screen." Because every time Robert would show up, he was like, "Hi, Robert. How are you doing? Hi, Robert. How are you doing?" Every single time. Because he was not fucking around. He was like, "Can he hear me through the TV?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Buddy, I don't know, but good on you for just in case."
Yeah. Robert, like I said, Robert the doll is like one of my favorites for all time. I mean, he's just between him and Annabelle, like there's no contest. But um, I try to respect all the haunted dolls.
I try to respect anything that's cursed, not just dolls, but anything. Like, me and Aubrey were in Connecticut and we actually wanted to go to the Warrens Occult Museum until one, it's closed for rezoning. Two, you have to get blessed by a priest before you go in. And you're not allowed to touch anything. Like you walk around with your hands in your pockets. And it's a lot like Robert in the sense you have to ask things for permission to take their pictures,
That makes
especially
sense.
Annabelle. And people with Annabelle freak me out because they like tap on her glass and like you ain't shit, and then they get on a motorcycle and die.
Oh yeah, I remember that story for
No,
sure.
no, like leave all the haunted, cursed objects alone. Mm-mm. No, 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 no.
Yeah, that's just one thing that I mean, there's like a lot of places that I'm looking forward to going eventually. Like I definitely want to go to the you know to Zach Bagans haunted museum.
I do too. I want to go there too, but that requires us to go to Vegas.
Yeah, I'll get on a plane for that.
I don't know if I'd get on a plane for Zach Bagans.
I might.
I'm terrified of planes, man. I don't know if I'd get on a plane for that. Though seeing
uh
Dr. Kevorkian's van might be worth it.
yeah, well, there's another doll that I heard about
Peggy?
through yeah, oh, I was hoping you weren't going to say her name. I've been trying to forget her name.
Yeah, no. No, she's also on the list.
Oh no, she scares
Peggy,
me
I love
more.
you.
Yeah, I love you, Peggy. Don't come at me.
Don't come at
Um,
me, please, dear
but
Lord.
yeah, so well, I am so glad you covered Robert the Doll. I'm glad you got a chance to go down and see him. That's definitely an experience.
It.
Yeah. So yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Thank you so much for sharing that. I am so
I know
appreciate
it was a short one, but that's Robert. I
it.
mean, he's a 3 foot tall doll. Like he's a life size kid doll.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
No, I no thank you. I mean, I respect you, Robert, but
Oh
no
yeah,
thank you. I will leave you alone. Um, but yeah. So let's see here. We our Instagram is blowing up. Thank
it
you
is.
so much for everybody who is like commenting and following. Our Twitter's blowing up, which is great. Facebook, all of that is just it's growing exponentially. You can find all of us at Dark Podcast US. And yeah, just if you also want to send us an email, it's darkpodcast email at gmail.com. We would
Send us your
love,
spooky shit.
yeah, send us your stories. We love hearing them. We've got some. In fact, this is a you guys are going to get a special treat this week because we're going to be releasing a second episode this week with all of our listener tales, which I'm super excited about. And also in our listener tales, I am going to be making an announcement that you guys need to stick around for that I am so excited about. Um, we have partnered up with somebody that I am just super stoked to announce there.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. I was
Yeah,
confused for a second.
yeah, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool." But, yeah, so
Sorry about my dog. If you can hear my dog,
oh, sorry
he's.
about the lawnmower too, like,
I only heard it once.
yeah, I was so mad about that. I was like, I put myself on mute and I called Travis and I was like, "Tell them to stop mowing at the window." He's like, "Okay." But anyway, so thank you so much for sharing that with us. I am so excited. Next week I
It's an Elicia tale.
is an Alicia Day. I've already decided what I'm gonna do. It's a surprise.
It's a
Uh,
surprise.
yeah. Um, and I'll explain in the listener tales episode what kind of surprise. I'm not gonna tell you what it's about, but I will tell you what kind. Because there's a partnership that we have formed, and it's gonna be super, awesome.
I know what it is now.
Yay! Well, you guys, thank you so much for listening
Thank you
in.
so much.
Absolutely. We value each and every single one of you. This podcast is pretty much, a labor of love. Even if it never makes billions of dollars, it's just good for us to have a creative outlet. And that's what we're looking for, I guess, more than anything. Um,
Yes.
just to have the ability to share our stories and talk about things that we like and love. So there's that. But you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. And as always, stay out of the dark. Bye.
Bye.